Wolf Pack, what's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, rotostreetjournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves out there, including you daily fantasy wolves. DraftKings, it's been our best season yet for DraftKings. Our guy Jimmy McGinnis had a big week last week. I've had a couple $1,000 weeks, nothing in that six figures or any of that craziness quite yet, but hoping to get there this weekend. We've certainly been testing out tons of optimal strategy, all that good stuff, stacks, double stacks, done a ton of research into what makes these Millie Maker lineups. What are these experts doing so often? And we're going to try to bring all that analysis while also giving you the picks and plays of the week. So come on in. If you have any week 13 sit starts, any of those types of questions, of course, get those on answered. If you're catching the replay, awesome. Thank you so much. Let us know what you think in the comments or hit me up at Roto Street Wolf directly personally. Happy to take any feedback or comments or questions you guys have directly there as well. And if you don't mind giving this a thumbs up, if you're catching the replay or live here, it does help us get out to more people with me in the world. So please consider doing that for us while we get into these picks. And of course, if you aren't subscribed, wherever you like to watch, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, hit that button, hit the bell, and check us out. That's enough, of course, of the promotion. Let's get into the picks. The first thing, though, I want to go through is a little bit of news that we have not covered for our rankings. First being Josh Jacobs. He is officially out, has not been practicing all week. This was kind of expected. Good for owners to, though, be able to plan. It's not game time coming down to the wire. Hopefully you did handcuff with Devontae Booker. If you didn't, hopefully you made Booker a priority on your waiver wire. He's looking like a top 20 easily running back. My running back, I believe 17 off the top of my head. Only 5,500 also in DraftKings. The Jets give up the most receptions to running back, 73. They obviously just blow, so we know that. So if the Raiders can get an early lead, you can expect Booker to just be bleeding clock. He did have 3 touchdowns not too long ago across 2 weeks against the Broncos, his former team, a nice little revenge game. He can get it done through the air, on the ground. He's kind of been operating as a third down back, so I think he might just go right into a 3-down role. Maybe Jalen Richard's a little involved, but ultimately I expect this to be the Booker show, and in return, in such a soft matchup, Booker could really be a very usable piece. Again, top 20, I think RB17 right now, 5,500 on DraftKings. A lineup, not lock necessarily, especially on DraftKings because there's tons of good mid-price guys we're going to go through in a sec. But if you own him and you need that flex, I say you get him on in there without hesitation. The only other note for that would be maybe the Jets become somewhat intriguing at 2,100 on DraftKings. If you're looking for that bargain basement price point, you're not going to start the Jets in seasonal league. Let's be real here. But the Raiders offense laying that egg last time against the Falcons could also be, that much less equipped to do anything more. And the Jets defense isn't horrendous. I could see they're horrendous in terms of everything. But in terms of fantasy-wise, I could see like 9-10 points, and at 2.1 could be interesting. Jonnu Smith's also going to be out, and that puts Anthony Firkser right into the top 12 tight ends at such a barren wasteland. I slightly prefer Kyle Rudolph. We talked about this earlier in the week, but ultimately Firkser's not far behind. And honestly, if you prefer this guy and a better offense overall, no complaints to me. We haven't seen much of Firkser, but the one time he did get significant snaps, Jonnu Smith exited like the first or second drive for the Titans, and Firkser dominated. I think this was against the Houston Texans. He had 113 yards, 8 grabs, a score, commanded 21.9% target share on 29 routes for the 46 dropbacks that Tannehill took that game. And Cleveland gives up the 3rd most points to tight end, so beautiful matchup for the guy. John, who was my Hail Mary, or not even Hail Mary, my higher, lower Hail Mary segment on the podcast for Wednesdays, he was my higher tight end because of the matchup, not because of anything John who's done. He had a pathetic goose egg last week. Just more so the matchup, get right spot. I think Firkser's a great bet for the end zone. Good bet for 5 to 6 catches at 2,500 on DraftKings too. I mean, talk about a free square you can build upon. I do love Robert Tonyan at tight end, but Firkser has kind of become that one I'm looking for now, especially because as you'll see my stacks of the week, I'm loving this Cleveland offense. I think they're going to be the team to pepper and attack this week. Both Jonnu out, Firkser immediate top 12 tight end. Let me know if you have a tight end question. But Firkser, there's a good chance he's going to be the guy I go if you have a tight end question related to him. And last but not least, Myles Gaskin, not official yet, but all the trends so far suggest he is going to be activated. And if so, if that's the case, and let's assume he is, He's the last man standing. And he gets Cincinnati, giving up the third most rushing yards on the ground, a soft matchup for the guy. And there's no one in his way for workhorse duties. Not that anybody might have been anyways. I mean, the guy was playing 80% of the snaps, hadn't been under 63% of the snaps in 5 straight games. He had 21 touches in 4 of the last 5 games. It was wild. The guy was by far, Myles Gaskin, the number 1 running back there. There was no one really even touching him. And now there might not be anybody there to even touch him, even if they wanted to make a committee. Salvin Ahmed, Matt Breida, DeAndre Washington, all doubtful for Week 13, expecting that none of them shall be suiting up here. So Gaskin, right toward the top 10 of my running backs here, right next to Mostert at 12, Gaskin 13, and I might flip-flop those. I mean, Kamara, like, do I have Kamara above these guys just because it's Kamara, or do I go the safer route with a Myles Gaskin about to see 20 touches against a soft Cincinnati team? Like to play, I don't know. That's a tough question, right? If you want the safety, it's going to be Gaskin. Of course, we got to wait and officially get word he's going to be going here. But all expectation is we're going to have Gaskin back with no one in his way for workhorse duties. So that's just the quick notes there. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments. Check out some more videos and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.